The Doctor Strange story is a great cast of characters. Chief among them is Karl Mordo.
Mordo certainly is the intro to Doctor Strange entering this universe. Mordo is very close with the Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton.
She deals in magic, in real, proper, inner magic.
Together, both the Ancient One and Mordo, they sort of begin his training.
There are other ways to save lives. So much you don't know.
We're excited about villains in this film. We call them the Zealots. These are people who become seduced by what they find on the other side.
Kaecilius is part of this temple. If the majority is looking for the truth here, he's looking over there for the truth.
He is interested in spilling the barriers between these dimensions.
Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. New Doctor Strange trailer just showing off the villains of the movie, way more important than the heroes. So let's break it down. The thing I like about this movie is the way they're selling it on the villains. Like, it's all about the rise of Doctor Strange to Sorcerer Supreme, but it's more of a villains movie with Doctor Strange in it. Like, we're seeing this all from Doctor Strange's perspective, but the biggest characters are the villains, starting with Baron Mordo. So most of you have some idea for him in the comics, so let's start with him. And the thing that they're not talking about is actually the most important thing, that he's one of Doctor Strange's biggest villains. But as they talk about him in this movie, it's before he's fallen to darkness, but he's still very close with the Ancient One, helping her fight against Kaecilius, like the real villain of the movie, played by Mads Mikkelsen, in helping this new person who the Ancient One says is very important to learn about the ways of magic. So you can kind of see this Shakespearean Loki-Thor metaphor, where like the old favorite son meets the new adopted son and grows to think that the mother loves the adopted son more than him. So they don't really address that in the trailer, but it'll probably be in the subtext of the movie, and they'll follow up on, like, it'll be a jumping off point for future sequels. So Baron Mordo, not going to be the main villain of this film, but could totally rise to be the villain of a future film in a Loki type way. I think Loki is a lot more playful than Baron Mordo. The vibe that I'm getting from Chiwetel Ejiofor's Baron Mordo is someone who is just like utterly committed to their cause, just utterly serious, but who has a small sense of humor. He has that funny line in the trailer where he gives him the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages, so he does have a sense of humor, but he does look utterly severe. And you know how those kinds of people are, like, have you ever played like a board game with somebody who takes it way more seriously than all your other friends? They get really pissed off when they feel like people aren't taking it seriously. So you can see how he has to teach him the ways of magic and is going to get really impatient. But then as Doctor Strange is destined to become Sorcerer Supreme and outmatch him, that is really going to piss him off. But usually you find, like, when people like Loki and Thor come to blows, it's because of some ideological difference. So just put that in the back of your mind. It's not going to be the most important thing in this film. The most important thing is just watching Doctor Strange become Doctor Strange and them learning about the multiverse, which is what they're talking about when they talk about all these other dimensions. So Kevin Feige pipes up and he's like, we are really excited about the villains in this movie. And Mads Mikkelsen is like, well, you know, everybody's looking for truth over here. I'm over here in this other place looking for truth. So conceptually, you could say that his character feels like our universe, like our reality, is just complete bullshit. And there's so much more beyond, and he wants to make it all one. Like, he wants to merge all the dimensions, as the trailer says, which is how you get to stuff like Shumagorath, Dormammu, the Dark Dimension, all these other places with cosmic beings that are just way trippier than anything we've ever seen in the movies before. So that is the back door to those things appearing in the movie. Like, they've teased it in the Thor movies so far. We'll learn about Hela, who rules over Asgard's version of Hell. So there's like all these other dimensions, all these other universes. Doctor Strange is going to be the introduction to that. But the other important thing that I talked about, if you remember, I made a Thor video the other day about Thor Doctor Strange crossover. Loki is a magic user. He probably knows about all these things that Doctor Strange is learning about the different dimensions, about the multiverse. So while Doctor Strange is the next movie, it'll give you like the deep dive, like, here's this wider world that you didn't know about in the Marvel Universe. Like, it goes way beyond the stuff that you've seen. It gets way trippier, and things are way scarier. Like, the Avengers are badass, but how can they stand against something like Dormammu without the power of magic? Scarlet Witch has magic too, but they haven't really explained how powerful she is. It's related to the Mind Gem, so when we get to Infinity War, we will have team magic moments. Like Doctor Strange interacting with Loki is Marvel team magic, so just expect that same type of scene with Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch eventually too. But if anything, this is really like the first big Marvel movie to flirt with the horror genre. There have been like horrific things happening in the other Marvel movies, but this is the closest to being classic horror, like giant tentacle monsters from another dimension, the devil of the Marvel universe. So you can see they're pushing into new genres. But let me know in the comments, what do you think the post-credits scene is going to be at the end of this? Do you think it'll be some sort of Avengers Infinity War teaser? Do you think it's going to tease Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? Because that will be the next Marvel movie, and sometimes there's some connective tissue between those two things. But I feel like it's mostly connected to the Thor film, so there might be a hat tip for that. They just hired Dan Harmon to punch up the script. They're adding a few scenes to the movie, like they're doing reshoots, so they're just like tweaking things before it's actually released. So I just love the idea of crazy Rick and Morty shit going on in the Marvel Universe. Hopefully Dan Harmon will Cronenberg the shit out of the film, just because we have like the really light, fun Marvel movies. You want to have the spectrum. You want to have like the deep psychological horror Marvel movies. You want to have the buddy road trip movie, that's the Thor film. You want to have the big team up, those are the Avengers films. So they're just like all kinds of different genres represented in the Marvel movies. But giveaway time, if you guys didn't know, there's been a giveaway going on. Emerson Fleming, you win a $30 Amazon card. It's basically for the value of the Captain America Civil War Blu-ray, which is dropping this Friday. So I'll totally do a new video for the deleted scenes, like all the stuff they left out of the movie if there's anything cool. So I'll reboot the giveaway now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. I'll be doing the Marvel giveaway in all my Marvel videos this week, so no worries. Plenty of opportunities to win a copy of the DVD. But there's actually a rumor going around that Captain America and Black Widow will also guest star in Spider-Man Homecoming along with Iron Man. So I'll probably do a video for that next. There's also some Deathstroke Justice League that I want to do. So either one of those videos will post next, but a whole bunch of Marvel and DC coming this week. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here for that funny Thor Ragnarok trailer again, and you can click here for Spider-Man Homecoming behind the scenes. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.